Hello and welcome back to round 6, 7,
Round 6.
8.
Round 6.
Oh, yeah, round 6 of this Goat Grand Prix here in Halle. And we are still looking for the people who are playing top 8. And we were asked in chat if there's a chance to see GermanDLS in the next round of the feature match.
It's a very good question. What is the answer, Simon?
I don't know. Is he? Does he attend?
He's here, I've heard, and I've heard he's sitting right next to us because we got him into the feature match.
That's nice. We are listening to chats that we didn't even read before we looked up the feature match.
I pulled GermanDLS over for a feature match and then I read the comment and I was like, oh, that's fitting. So yeah, we have him and he's playing against Slash, another one of the many people here I don't know. There's a sea of very skilled players who I've never seen before. And that's what I love about this tournament. I would say, let's switch from us ugly, sweated faces to the table where the real action is will be going down.
Where the sweaty gameplay will be.
Yeah, it's very, very hot in here. And we know what GermanDLS is playing. We won't spoil it in just in case players may hear us. But it is a deck which we didn't have on stream yet.
And that's what we want. New decks, exciting decks that also are a possible contender.
Yeah. Both players are 4-1 and we got asked again earlier. We are playing 7 rounds. We've cut the top 8 and we are 96 players. So with X1 you're pretty much secured your place in top cut. With X2 you have to sweat. So both players are on a virtual bubble and definitely want to win this match now. And I know that GermanDLS did sweat a lot in the last round. He went way into overtime and got a clutch victory there. So let's see if he's still exhausted or if he can go fresh into this game.
Yeah, and we know what it's like to go from overtime into the next round because it happened a lot here on stream today. So we know the pressure. And we will see how he adapts. I did not quite... Did they roll who is going first yet?
We will see it shortly, but big shoutouts to Evans GR in the chat. Hello back. Evans GR, you don't know this, is the winner of the second to last Gold Grand Prix in Nuremberg.
Oh.
He won it last year. He was the Greek who snatched the victory from all the German noses, who is unfortunately not here. I hope to see you in Munich, Evans, so you better be there to give us Germans a chance to finally beat you. Yeah, he's there in chat watching and it will be exciting. GermanDLS was at that Gold Grand Prix in Nuremberg last year. So he makes a lot of trips. He's also a name you may know. And oh, this was...
There was the handshake. We were waiting for it to happen and now it was there. It was on my bingo card for today. I have sadly not printed it out, but...
I don't know if you watched Inside Out 2. You didn't, but there is like a new character called Embarrassment. And he is dominating the emotions right now. So GermanDLS seemingly is able to start here because he puts out 6 cards. Yes, yeah. GermanDLS will start us off and that's good for him. Let's see what his opening has to offer. I'm so excited for the deck he's playing. It's a deck I really love.
Now I don't... Oh, that's... He's playing very far forward.
Yeah, but our table judge is way ahead of us, correcting that he plays his cards correctly. And yeah, Aaron's pointing out he already won another GGP in Greece that year, so yeah, does not need to win one this season.
He has nothing to lose. And Munich is a beautiful city, as well as Halle is, where we are right now with this round 6 of this GGP. And yeah, so...
German setting with a T set here, which is an uncommon opening for his deck. So that's not something you would assume he would do. We have no idea what Slash is playing, so this is also a big wild card. There are a few cool decks left. Maybe we have another Reasoning Gate, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the one singular back row without any monsters could be anything. It could literally be anything.
It could be anything. So let's see what GermanDLS will do here now. We see flip summon off a Gravekeeper Spy. That's not much of an indication what we are about to see here. but it is very good to put some pressure on the bot, and he's something in attack that may suggest what kind of deck he's playing. He's definitely not playing conservatively here.
Yeah, I mean, if you are in round 6 and you have the opportunity, you just go ham. Because if you lose this one, you can as well go home.
Yeah, but maybe other players would play more carefully then. But yeah, playing aggressive is definitely in line with his playing style.
I would have done the same thing.
It's easy to say in hindsight, because it worked. We see quarter damage already done to Slash's life points. And maybe now's the opportunity for him to show us what he got. We see, is it a jar? It is Dust Tornado, but not in the end phase, but rather now. I mean, it was sitting there for a while, so no point in end phasing it, because he could have still chained it. Might as well just see what the draw holds for you.
I mean, not doing it in end phase is like negating the second effect of Dust Tornado to set another trap from your hand to use it possibly in the turn he just activated his Dust Tornado.
That's very true.
There is an opportunity to...
and it's a ring, and he chains the ring, and that again is very in line with the deck GermanDLS is packing today, because we would never see a turbo player do this. So he definitely wants to deal a lot of damage here, which he does. So what kind of follow-up can Slash now bring to the table? We see a Goblin attack force.
And we got the mirror matches today. The mirror matches.
Yeah, no, we can spoil it. We have, in fact, another mirror match happening. What is going on today? And
I mean, maybe Slash is on like some kind of skill drain deck, and that's why he plays the Goblin attack force, but all the indicators are for our fourth mirror match of the day.
We always get double trouble. Like, we pull one player in because we know he plays something cool, and the other player plays the same thing.
I mean, we get double the rewards for cool decks, but sometimes cool decks work because they're good against meta decks, like the oppressive Chaos Turbo we got in our deck breakdown, and then there are decks that are very good against Chaos Turbo, but maybe not against themselves.
I have the feeling that the life points of GermanDLS might not be updated there, because he also should have lost 1-2 for ring there. But maybe we'll get an update for that later. Storm now gets rid of another Dust Tornado, and now we have a Graceful Charity played in attack position.
Yeah, and Graceful Charity in attack position actually allows you to draw 3 cards and then discard 2 cards. I didn't know if you knew that.
I read up on the effect of Pot of Greed in preparation of the event, but I did in fact not for Graceful Charity, so thank you for enlightening me. This definitely helps a lot. And we see a Nobleman being discarded, pretty useful in the matchup. Obviously.
I mean, there are Earth flip monsters in this format, so maybe, but maybe not in the aggro strategy.
Yeah. But we saw GermanDLS play Spice, so there's definitely room for playing flips. I'm still kind of curious if they maybe missed the ring damage for GermanDLS there, because he should be at 4-5. And I don't know if this is a mistake that we are not updated, or if the judge, or if the players maybe failed to recognize that. Something. It's all good. Okay, we get a thumbs up from our operator. So you have the life points the judge gave you, right?
Okay, yeah, then.
So maybe I should intervene there. Yeah, 1,000 SUs.
But we are missing the spy damage from Ring of Destruction there. So maybe that's... Okay, there was mistakes were made. That's what was the emotion called again?
No, I'm really sorry. Like we are coming in too long. I had a mistake in my brain there. I'm sorry for yeah, I will not do that again. Goblin did not attack directly. Goblin attacked over spy. That plus the spy damage equaled 1 goblin attack, so there was no damage.
Okay, yeah, we were rambling about, oh my god, there's an earth monster, that we did not pay that much attention. So yeah, but there is the greedy pot, and the greedy pot gets you to the next 2 cards of your deck, and all these cards could apply immense pressure now.
Yeah, also both players are at half their life now, and Earth Aggro is a very aggressive deck.
Yeah, especially because you have your earth monsters as resources in the graveyard for the possibility to special summon monsters that are not chaos monsters.
And there we have the confirmation that we have, in fact, the mirror match, Giant Red being normal summon, just stomping over that goblin defense.
Yeah, and the goblin defense is like my defense 0. And yeah, now we got the red, but the red gets red meets girl. And
because what does Didi Warrior Lady do again?
Didi Warrior Lady is
outs everything.
This the best answer to every card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Period. Period.
So it's a Mystic Mine out.
Yes.
Okay. Why is it? Why a greedy pot? Carp enlighten us there. I don't know why it was.
I said it.
I don't even get word puns anymore. Maybe like can we do a sub? Like can someone hop in for me? Like take over?
Yeah, you're new to this. Like you've never commentated Yu-Gi-Oh! On live stream before.
No, I never did it. Like
and there is the Berserk Gorilla that meets the Ring of Destruction, and the Ring of Destruction meets the Royal Decree. And now that the king has spoken, the Gorilla went in and is there to deal huge amounts of damage.
Would you say that Gorilla just got Berserk?
No, that's a knighted gorilla because he works under the king's decree.
Okay, so he did it under the royal...
He's civilized.
Civilized.
It's a civilized gorilla.
So civilized.
But even the civilized, the most civilized gorilla stands no chance against another goblin attack force that there goes in.
I want to point out something very important. You hear us rambling, we are exhausted, we are not making sense anymore, we are making mistakes. Imagine the players who actually playing since a lot of hours now, and that's a really good argument for bringing Earth Aggro to such an event. Because Earth Aggro
and Didi Warrior Lady.
Is this game?
Smashing Ground.
It's game.
Oh my god, and that's game. Didi Warrior Lady not only outs every monster, it also outs every slash in this game 1.
Yeah, what I was about to say is like Earth Aggro is a very simplistic deck. I'm not saying that it's not hard to play. Like every deck is hard to play if you want to play it masterfully. But Earth Aggro maybe is easier to play than something like God Control.
It's a little bit forgiving.
Yeah, and in most cases, games go by pretty fast, as we saw.
Yeah, so you got a lot of downtime between rounds usually, and if you want to pick up a deck that has different struggles than the goat control deck, which is like very slow, and you need to think about every decision you do, maybe pick up Earth Aggro if you are interested in starting out with the goat format, because you can like put down cards and they do stuff on the turn you are playing.
Yeah, it's actually like a very important thing in goat format. It's like timing your aggression. When do you go into the offensive? How do you preserve your card? When do you overextend? The easy thing is, like, in my opinion, optimal playing Earth Aggro is like always aggress. This is what the deck wants to do. This deck never wins with resources or because the card draws has the better cards. This deck just wants to overwhelm your opponent, and GermanDLS is playing a really aggressive version, even with Royal Decrees in the main deck.
Yeah, and I mean, if your monsters always connect, because the primary way of dealing with pesky attack position monsters are these battle traps like Sakuretsu Armor, or the Mirror Force, or the Torrential Tribute, or the Ring of Destruction.
Yeah.
These Royal Decrees that not only knight your Berserk Gorillas, but also make like all these traps that are there to counter your strategy, and you counter them in game 1. That's a very, very heads-up play there.
Yeah, definitely. And Earth Aggro, like the usual build, as we saw by Slash, does it already with Dust Tornadoes, but Decree is just adding that extra step. And we see GermanDLS also adjusting for the fact that he has less defense than other Earth Aggros with main decking Spies, which are defense and not a trap card.
Yes, and Spies can spy your opponent even if there is a big wall.
Yeah,
that's why Spies are professionals.
Cup pointing out in the chat that he likes the decrees, and yeah, they worked out fantastic there for GermanDLS, and it works pretty well with the overall strategy. But we praised them really highly, but they will get sided out here. Let's be real. In the mirror match, you don't really need very much trap disruption, or maybe GermanDLS figures, yes, he indeed wants to keep them.
I mean, they kinda won him in the first game, so maybe if Slash plays a lot of trap cards, the decrees are a good option to keep in. But yeah, probably siding them out because you already saw like a very high amount of back row removal on Slash's side.
If you're Slash, you definitely side out the traps now. You definitely side out the Dust Tornadoes you had. Also, like normally you would keep Dust Shoots in the mirror match because it's decent against Earth, because Earth isn't committing like 4 back rows because they don't play Solemns.
Yes.
But if you see your opponent on decrease, you most certainly don't keep Shoots. So you would assume that Slash drastically reduces their trap potion in their deck, so you would side out decree, but maybe Slash bets on that and keeps in Shoots and Tornadoes going first.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you go first against a deck that plays a huge monster count, playing Dust Shots might really be a good option.
Going first, Dust Shoot is always an option to consider because opening with it is like the best thing you can hope for, besides maybe Trinity. But yeah, we were yapping long enough. We will see a game 2 happening now. Slash now has the opportunity to begin, and now both players agreeing on the handshake clutch.
Yeah. I mean, it happens one, it will not happen again. And
with the Vittorio Victor Gedächtnispyramide there. It's like what OG players like to do. And what do we see in the corner of my eye?
We don't talk about cards in hand, but we did talk about a possibility of.
But do we talk about Bruno?
We don't talk about Bruno here. And we also don't talk about man falling through the ground because it's a fake ground.
Would you say it's a trap?
I mean, I know a certain admiral that would say it's a trap, but which one is it? Is it Cliff on the artwork of?
It should be Cliff, yeah.
It should be Cliff, right? Yeah. I mean, Cliff definitely has not the greatest time there.
Okay, we see Didi is silent and Lily being sent to the graveyard there, both from monsters, but both monsters you really like to call. And there's a shoot, so no need to play around it more. Book of Moon is an interesting decision to keep it in there, but it makes sense with Decree. And we also see, like, GermanDLS is on the hyper aggressive version, like hyper aggressive version with brain controls.
I mean, his version is pretty, and I like it. So
how much fun can we get in there?
What do you get rid of now? I mean, it's possibly the breaker, right? Yeah. He points to the breaker because Gigantes does nothing without a graveyard, and it's easier to get rid of the Goblin attack force.
It kind of depends on if the back row of Slash were chainable. But because if it were chainable, shuffling back the Goblin would make sense because it would get rid of the only target Gigantes can do something with. Also, shuffling Gigantes would also make sense because it's a very good card in the format. But yeah, Breaker seems like the obvious choice. There is some discussion going on. The players talking about some stuff there. Not sure what.
Maybe it's about note-taking or something like that. I mean, there are a lot of.
I think it's about note-taking. Yeah. Maybe they are contemplating how to handshake after the game. So better to get it out of the way now and not to have to deal with it later.
I mean, talking it out always solves problems, and they probably both,
Okay, it was about now taking, so maybe Slash just wanted to get another good look of the hand of GermanDLS and want to confirm what's there. And we can now talk very openly about the contents of GermanDLS hands. We know about Goblin, Gigantes, Book of Moon, Brain Control, Giant Tornado. There is the Goblin you just want to swing there for some good amount of damage. It goes to defense, you don't really mind, because it just fuels your graveyard for Gigantes as soon as it gets destroyed.
Yeah, and just swinging in for 23 is also like huge, because like we saw last game, the life points against an Earth Aggro are so fragile, and getting a heads up now without drawback of like losing life points in return because your monster is already in defense position is a very good turn.
Okay, and Slash, in fact, like we talked about it, he kept in shoots and tornadoes. So he maybe plays it.
And now he sets another card to possibly use this turn.
Yeah, maybe it's another tornado. Because no, you wouldn't set it. Let's see, maybe it's a ring. Or a call. It could be a call.
It could be a call, and call could be devastating here.
Yeah, a call on Lily would be so much damage.
If he has
maybe some
Gigantes and another Goblin attack force, should be huge amounts of damage. It wouldn't be game, but it would certainly apply a lot of pressure on GermanDLS. Because we know that GermanDLS has no cards in hand to deal with that kind of aggression now.
Okay, we started with Gigantes, but banishing the Lily, so no call or Prem, or maybe he Slash values the silent engraved more than Lily engrave, which is an interesting decision. Lily is a two-edged sword in this matchup because you also lose a lot of life.
I mean, if he had two Gigantes and a Dimension Fusion, it would have been game.
Yeah.
So, it's a possibility. We haven't seen it.
It most certainly is. So we just see the attack over set monster on GermanDLS draws in the first card, which is not public knowledge anymore. So with his hand, he can go for Gigantes and try to go for the 2-for-1 here. Like doubling Gigantes and takes the back with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a play, but you would leave yourself very exposed.
I mean, you can still set the book.
The book he already lost against the Dust Tornado? Oh, which book are you referring to? Okay, yeah.
Exactly that book. I'm not making sense anymore. Good to have you. Yeah, its book is already gone.
It's a risky situation, just doubling your Gigantes, and GermanDLS needs to think what he's going to do.
He found a gorilla. Does he have game? It's not enough game. It was almost game there because he has True Nate and Brain Control and Gigantes.
But
wait. That's game. He has game.
But why not True Nate first?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he didn't look at the life because he has game here. He can True Nate and then it's just over.
There is a True Nate, and even if it's a ring now, and it's a ring,
it's over. It's still over.
It doesn't matter now.
GermanDLS, if he sees the line, he just needs to summon Gigantes, Brain Control, and that's Earth Aggro for you. That's exactly what I meant. Like Brain Control, basically it's a -1 here if you go for the long one, but it doesn't matter because the game is not going that long.
And like I said, the one attack of his Goblin attack force this early applied so much pressure that he has now a game shot like 2 turns later.
Yeah. So I think GermanDLS is he's a very deliberate player, which definitely is fine. You don't want to make a mistake at that point of the game, but he should see the lane very soon. This is definitely just over, and there it is, and I love the deck. Just bam, Gigantes, bam, Brain Control, and we see the handshake, and that's the win for GermanDLS, who is now one step closer to securing his top cards for this very, very aggressive deck.
Yeah, and we got a very exciting match here, and 2 players that Earth aggroed their way into this round 6, and now GermanDLS continues his streak into round 7 with his X1 standing. And
but it's still not over for Slash though. He is now 4-2. With another win he could bring himself to 5-2, and that's still possible to top with a 5-2 record. It will be hard, it will depend on tiebreakers, but it's certainly doable. So maybe we see Slash again. We probably will see GermanDLS in top card again.
Yeah, the possibility of seeing GermanDLS again is likely. He has to win another round because, like we said earlier, X2 is kinda iffy to get into the top cut because of the amount of players we have. There should be space for one X2 player, and that's basically nothing. But yeah,
we don't know yet if we will have an interview, but I assume we will because GermanDLS, I know him. I don't think he's camera shy, and he also is.
I know another Halle fact, so I thought about sharing that one, and yeah, the Halle fact is for all the music enjoyers out there, because in fact Halle has the biggest Beatles museum in all of Europe.
You would think it would be in Liverpool, but no, it's in Halle an der Saale.
Because apparently there are very big Beatles fans here in Halle, and yeah, so if you are in Halle, and yeah, you maybe can check out the Beatles museum tomorrow if you are staying, or if you ever win.
Did you tell them about the other museum already?
No, I haven't told them about the other museum because that's a sweet Halle fact for the next round.
Yeah, so stay tuned if you want to plan your museum tour in Halle an der Saale, possibly to contemplate your visit of GGP Halle next year, because I'm sure we will get a GGP here next year after this amazing turnout. 96 players showed up, so for sure we will have the opportunity to meet you guys again here next year. But for now, we just leave for a few minutes, then we will be back with an interview with GermanDLS, and then the very last round of Swiss for today.
And welcome back here with our next interview. We have GermanDLS here, and yeah, you just had an incredible mirror, like our. It feels like it was our 6th mirror on stream in a row, and yeah, we selected you for the feature match because we thought like Earth Aggro is kinda cool and not that well represented in the tournament. I mean, it's more represented than we expected, but nonetheless, you played Royal Decrease in game 1 in your deck, and it caught your opponent off guard, I felt. So what was your thinking process going into game 2 with your Royal Decrease?
Okay, maybe first step, I always on the search for exotic decks which are a bit different, and when we talk about Earth Aggro, you have standard lists, and some of them I already played on Dueling Book and in the tournaments. But as I already mentioned, I am always on the hunt with exotic takes, and then I found a deck list in Italy, as of course they have very good ideas. Maybe later on I can talk more about it. And there I saw that someone played 3 Royal Decree in the main deck. So I think it's a good pick to have it in the first game instead of the second game. And yeah, in the second game, I had the decrease in the main still.
Yeah.
But it's a bit tricky against the mirror match because Earth Aggro likes to have Royal Decrease. So it's not that big deal. Like normal warriors have more problems with Royal Decree, but Earth Aggro is okay with it.
Okay.
So I decided to hold it in the main deck.
Okay, yeah. So you, despite the fact that Earth Aggro has not that big of a problem with the decree, you still...
Yeah, because you want to attack, you want to kill the opponent as fast as possible, so it helps them too.
Yeah. So is Earth Aggro like your pet deck that you bring to every tournament, and did you have like some achievements with the deck already?
I had PVCQ top 8 some months ago. I had a 4-2 run playing the list of return winner from its channel YouTube. He took the main deck of Shaggy Powers, who played it in the World Championship 2022, and return winner had an own side deck with 1 Penguin Soldier, and I put this Penguin Soldier out for 1 Mobius, and that's the deck like return winner showed on his channel. And it's not my pet deck. As I mentioned, I always on the hunt for something which is a bit different than the main meta deck, and I'm trying the stuff around.
Okay, so maybe some people in chat have like the next exotic pick for you on your hunt of exotic cards to play in the GOAT format. Any card that you found in particular already that you like very much, that are now maybe common play, but you played them first?
No, I have some favorite cards which are not good enough for the meta, and I am hoping still that someone find the right combination to bring this cool cards into the game. So we have 1,500 cards, and we still play the 300 same cards, and I think it is a bit boring when we have Chaos Turbo mirrors all day long. So I have some cards in my backpack, but I didn't found a way to bring them to a good moment.
Any teasers what these cards might be?
It's a card which can kill Chaos Turbo.
That sounds promising. So everyone now hunt for this one specific card that is able to kill Chaos Turbo. Anything else you want to shout out or?
Yeah, shout out to everybody who knows me, to my family, to my sister, which I play sometimes. She doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive, but when she was 10 years old, I show her how to play. So when we meet in Christmas or Easter, she always plays Chaos Turbo. I play something different, and thank you very much for your time to do that. And yeah, hope to see you again soon.
That's very wholesome. So yeah, thanks for your time and for your great input, and thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be right back with round number 7.